What's going on, you guys? It is your boy Vergil here, and welcome back to another episode on Dragon Ball Legends. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 pick best underrated non-Zenkai units in the game. Of course, these are not going to be the actual realistic top 5 units based on teams or based on overall meta units, but I think my pick right here is based on preference / individuality. These guys individually I think could do very, very huge either damage or just insane units overall. All my rankings, judgments, ratings here will be at 14 stars, so the units that I pick here will be at max potential, but definitely don't expect to see what you would normally expect in this video. I'm sure you guys can definitely have your presumptions of who I will talk about based on recent upgrades or buffings that we've gotten in the near or this past weeks. And yeah, before we jump into the video, if you guys could smash that like button, it would be absolutely appreciated. It helps out the video a ton, you guys, as well as hitting that subscribe button if y'all are new. It definitely comes a long way in helping the channel out, you guys. I definitely appreciate y'all. And without further ado, let's jump in. I'd say top 5 spot right now, or the 5th spot for underrated / definitely underestimated unit, even though it is known to be that this unit is good. It always, I've heard from multiple people that this unit always feels like it's missing something or missing extra damage or just something. Is this guy right here, bro. Since this guy is released, man, I think this dude is phenomenal. The amount of utility that this guy has in his kit is just fantastic. He has pretty insane damage potential as well. We'll be going through his kit. So 14 stars, looking at the stats. It's really not bad at all. 256, 236, and then both of his defenses are at 160. His strike cards have a 20% 2 strike damage inflicted for 2 timer counts. So when he gets this, just increased strike damage, right? He gets -5 to own special move arts on hits. His blue card has that, of course, that blast armor. So you're just going through shit. Deals massive impact damage, 15% special move on activation. Applies. This is where it's pretty crazy right here. Applies attribute upgrade, shortens sub count by 5 to self on hits, so that sub count manipulation is really good. Of course, that blast armor. The green card on this unit, man, is that AOE green. One of the best greens in the game. Just all the AOE green cards are just pretty annoying. Similar to, what is it, the movies, Purple Gohan, the transforming one. You vanish, pop one of these, bro. Start a combo. It's pretty annoying. Restores ki by 40. He gets a 50% 2 ki recovery for 10 timer counts. Applies the following effects on hits. Draws a blue card next. He gets a 20% damage inflicted buff. Applies the buff effects. Nullifies enemy special actions that activate when changing cover. So with this green card, you can nullify cover change. If you know, like, a lot of units, a majority of units in this game have cover change. If you pop this green card, you don't have to worry about someone switching immediately, and it combos. Simple as that. This green card is fantastic. Along with the blue card, it's a very good mix here. His ultimate deals massive impact damage. Applies attribute upgrade, -100% to enemy sustained damage cut effects, and restores, nullifies enemy endurance. A majority of units have this in the game. Some of the best units have this in the game. I do think it's necessary nowadays to have some mechanic like this where you nullify endurance on your blue or your ultimate, because endurance is pretty common, especially more common than revival just now. But his main ability randomly destroys one of your own cards. He draws the ultimate, restores health by 15, ki by 40, 60% on the ultimate damage for 20 counts, and his ultimate damage inflicted against tag Sun gets a 20% extra to Saiyan or Sun family for 20 counts. So, I mean, I don't know, like, it's busted, bro. This is insane. Majority of the units in this game is Saiyan and Sun family, especially the top units in the game. So very good unit right now, specifically for the meta, having Saiyans and hybrids. So majority of hybrids are Sun family. Be the best units in the game. Of course, he buffs Saiyans. Saiyan Saga, powerful opponent. Powerful opponent's actually really good right now. This is huge, and I don't think any other unit in the game has this ability in their unique. He gets a specific damage inflicted, 40% to inflicted damage against element blue. So even when he's in color disadvantage, excuse me, he has, doesn't matter what damage he deals, strike, blast, blue card, he's dealing 40% overall damage to blues. He gets a 25% damage inflicted against character Goku's, reduces damage received from tag Sun Family by 15. Applies the following effects as self and battle starts. He gets 80% of damage inflicted, reduces damage received by 35. Looking at this guy's kit on paper, bro, is just like, is something different. Like, he feels different in while you're using him, but I do think it's the stars that really makes this unit shine. So at 14 stars, with all these abilities activated, bro, it's actually pretty crazy. He gets 20% inflicted when this character switches to standby, up to 60%. Reduces enemy ki by 20 every time attack is evaded with vanishing step. Just so many different manipulations here with the sub count ki. Reduces damage received by 30% for 3 timer counts when enemy uses a special move, awakened or ultimates card. Applies the following effects to self upon landing a strike or blast hit. Every time he lands a strike or blast hit, he restores ki by 5. Draws the strike arts, activates once, activation count resets when character switches. So he's going to be getting ki. He gets 15% to special move damage inflicted for 20 counts. Restores own health. He has endurance himself. He nullifies endurance. He has endurance while this character is on the battlefield when causing. He has the anti-revival mechanic as well, man. A lot of these recent LFs or just recent units in general have been having anti-revival mechanics, which are pretty revolutionary, game-changing. So I think that's the little cherry on top. His kit is freaking ridiculous, and then on top of it, he has the anti-revival mechanic, similar to what Cell, SSB, Vegeta, Gogeta 4. While this character is on the battlefield when causing a character with a revive, revives the health to reach 0. This character receives 30% less health, cannot be cancelled. Okay, so it's not too crazy, but it is still something pretty good. Overall, I think this guy is not very underrated, but he's still underestimated, so underrated. But I just hear a lot of mid Vegeta this, mid Vegeta that. Dude, just wait till this guy gets to at least red 2 stars. He's just ridiculous at that point. But that is my top 5 pick. We're moving on to my 4th most underrated best LF. All these units are going to be LFs, by the way, just because they're all, all the recent LFs, or in my opinion, all the units on this list are LFs. So that's just it. But the 4th unit on this list is going to be this guy right here. This Frieza, bro, is actually insane. I only have him at 4 stars here, bro, but the type of damage that I've seen him perform on LOE, man, is kind of phenomenal. Very similar stats to the Ape Vegeta there. A little bit lower on the attack. Strike attack. He is blast oriented, right? Is he range type? Yeah, he's range type. He has 160s on both of his defenses. His blue card's AoE deals massive explode damage. This with the swaps from First Form Frieza and the blue cooler, bro. So he gets that double support buff. Pop this blue card. It's one shot. It's so many units, even at 4 stars for me. The AoE damage is very nice too, so it affects the entire team. The green card is very good. Restores his own ki by 40. The following effects occur on hit. He draws the blast card next. Inflicts all enemy attribute downgrade. 20% to damage received. Shortens allies sub count. Anything that manipulates sub counts is very, very good. Sub counts kind of run the game, so manipulation with sub counts is very nice. It combos. It has blast armor. Very modern. The ultimate hits really hard. Deals massive impact damage. Applies the following effects to itself upon activation. 20% to ultimate damage inflicted for 3 counts. Applies the attribute upgrade. 50% to enemy sustained damage cuts. Pretty good. Go into his main ability here. He draws the ultimate. He restores his own vanishing by 100%. So he gets that extra vanish. He has health by 20, ki by 50, and a 20% to ultimate and awakening damage by inflicted by allies for 30 counts. So he buffs his allies ultimate and awaken damage. Of course, he buffs powerful opponent, Frieza Force, and Frieza Saga. Permanent damage inflicted buff against Sun Family. One of the most prominent teams in the game right now. Hybrids, Sun Family. Applies the following effects to itself when the battle starts. He gets 70% to damage inflicted. Reduces damage received by 40%. Special move damage. Nullifies endurance. Ki reduces enemy Dragon Ball by 1 when he enters the battlefield. Applies the following effects to himself based on number of defeated battle members, so he gets more buffs this way. Yeah. Gets a total, with 2 defeated battle members, he gets a 60% inflicted, and it increases Arts Core draw speed by 1. That's very, very good. He has that cover change against Blast Arts, and the following effects occur when the remaining health is 60 or below after enemy attack is over. So you restore his own health by 20%, 15% to damage inflicted by allies, another ally inflicted buff for your allies, 50% to on ki recovery, and -5 to strike Blast Arts cost. Frieza's gross, bro. Frieza's gross. Don't underestimate this unit. I've seen a lot of people underestimate LOE and this unit in specific. In specific, and it's just not deserved, man. He definitely deserves to be on my top 4 most underrated favorite units. So yeah, we had Ape Vegeta, moved on to full power Frieza. By the way, I'm gonna be, of course, going through the kits, just pretty much explaining why these guys deserve to be where they're at here. The third, in my opinion, most underrated unit. Has been underrated since released. He's gotten a little bit of shine here and there, but I've heard so much slander about this man's right here. He's going to be my third unit on this list. I do think this guy at max star level is so gross, bro. The extreme bleed on this dude is so freaking nasty, man. People underestimate the extreme bleed so heavily. These stats are looking pretty good. 160s above defenses are always nice. But yeah, he's 100% chance to inflict extreme bleed on hit. He's the only unit that does this with the extreme bleed. His blue card is AoE, so it deals damage to everyone on his team, similar to the full power Frieza we were just talking about. Deals massive explode damage. He goes type neutral on the blue card as well, so it doesn't matter who you hit with this. It's going to deal some decent amount of damage. Nullifies, yeah, unfavorable element factor for 3 timer counts. Portion of damage, yep, AoE. So, yep. His green card, he actually draws a blue card with the green. Activates once, restores ki by 50. 20% to damage inflicted, and gains an attribute upgrade. 30% to the duration of bleed, heavy bleed, or extreme bleed effects. So, expanding on that bleed, that's pretty much this guy's, one of his main mechanics is that bleed. It does more than people realize, so you just want to get that bleed off. Even if you want to switch, if you knock the bleed off, the character switches to the sidelines, and he's still getting damage done to him because of the bleed. Combos off the green card. This ultimate deals massive explode damage and applies the following effects to self according to the number of enemy battle members upon activation. So with one battle member, he gets that 90% to ultimate damage inflicted, which is very nice. The blast armor on it, but his main ability restores his own health by 30, ki by 50, gain attribute upgrade to 100% to enemy sustained damage cut effects. People underestimate that ability as well because a lot of units have sustained damage cut. Cancel zone attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. That's huge as well. Of course, his Z abilities to future, powerful opponents. So he gets, when the battle starts, he gets a 60% damage inflicted, reduces damage received by 35, reduces enemy ki by 10 when this character enters the battlefield, additional 10% inflicted to enemy battle member. Damage inflicted per enemy battle member, so he's getting more buffs. So he nullifies enemy endurance when this character attacks. It doesn't matter if it's on the ultimate, it doesn't matter if it's on the blast arts, the strike arts, any damage this guy deals and kills a unit that has endurance, he will die. So it's not stuck on a blue card or an ultimate, anything. If you rising rush a unit like Topo or Oob or any unit with endurance, Ape Vegeta with endurance, he's going to die. So that in itself has so much value in my opinion. So many units have endurance and they throw these units out there when they get rising rushed and forget that Goku Black nullifies endurance no matter what. So that has so much value. Draws a Strike Arts card next every time this character faced with an enemy. 15% to reduce enemy Dragon Balls by 1 upon landing a Strike Arts hit. That's very, very good. And he has the Strike cover, but very, very underrated units. Even add red to this guy is actually insane. By the way, I forgot to mention beforehand that the Frieza, something else about him is that he has that Blast Armor. Blast Armor is very, very... especially if you know how to utilize Blast Armor, it can be very good. If you know how to Blast Cancel or Blast Armor Cancel, to be specific. Just wanted to state that when moving on to my second place option, which also has Blast Armor. This unit also has Blast Armor. This guy has been pretty actually mid on release, but his recent buff has just brought his value so freaking high, man, that I just have to praise this guy. And that's going to be Gogeta 4, bro. Gogeta 4 is actually a different type of monster nowadays, man. If you've seen any of my recent gameplay, he's the unit that I've used in the past since he's got the equipment, the unique equipment. I've been using this guy, but I do have him at 6 stars, thankfully. Looking at his 14-star stats, those are pretty good stats. I know he's a defensive type, but we are actually concerned about his damage now. His tanking capabilities, even at being a defensive type, are not the best. So I'm not sure why he's defensive type. I know he has that cut in the beginning of the combo, right? The unique ability right here. Reduces next sustained damage cut by 50%, can't be canceled. But it doesn't matter, bro. He's after that combo, he does take a good amount of damage, but nonetheless, he has been dealing a ton of freaking damage. So his blue card deals massive impact damage, 30% to special move damage inflicted. He draws a blue card next, restores ki by 50, cannot be nullified by most other special moves. His green card actually restores ki by 50, gets a 20% to damage inflicted, and gains buff, nullifies enemy special actions. So enemies cannot cover change when you pop the green. Destroys all of your enemies' cards, cancels enemy attribute upgrade, activates twice, combos. Overall, this guy's kit was fantastic on release. I do like this guy's kit a lot. Besides the defense thing, I do believe this reduced next sustained damage because should have been the entirety of the match. Yeah, the sustained damage cut should have just been forever, and I think that's his only flaw. Like everything else in his kit seems pretty ridiculous. So he combos off this. He has Blast Armor. This deals supreme impact damage, so he nukes with his ultimate. Goes type neutral on his ultimate, by the way. Blast Armor, 50% applies attribute upgrade, 100% to enemy sustain, minus 100% to enemy sustain damage cut effects, and nullifies endurance, of course. He gets card draw speed on his main. He goes type neutral, restores health by 30, ki by 50. He just does too much crap, bro. His damage inflicted, reduces damage received. Enters battlefield, he gets ki. Ki every time he enters the battlefield is very, very nice. Damage inflicted, reduces damage received again. So he gets 80 right here. So every time he enters, or the first time he enters the battlefield, he gets that 50 plus this 30 right here. Nullifies the attribute downgrade for 15 timer counts, activates twice. Nullifies he goes type neutral. I forgot to say that. He goes type neutral 4 times, man. He's able to go neutral 4 times. And type neutral is just so freaking ridiculous, man. People don't understand that if you're type neutral, you can just do damage to anyone. He fits on one of the best teams in the game right now, which is Saiyans. And with Super Saiyan 3 being able to go type neutral, Angel Vegeta being able to go type neutral, it's just absolutely ridiculous. On his own, this guy can do some pretty crazy shit himself. His last unique, when this character performs a cover change, knocks back against Strike and Blast Arts. While this character, he nullifies endurance. He does nullify endurance on his ultimate, but he has that anti-revival mechanic, which basically restores his health by 20%, increases his Dragon Balls by 2. And with that being said, moving on to his unique equipment, which you basically have to cover because so that anti-revival mechanic is even expanded, so he gets another 2 Dragon Balls for a total of 4. Basically, you can rush a revival unit and get your 4 Dragon Balls back and a 50% damage inflicted. He has double defenses here, double attack, base strike, blast attack, inflicted damage. So this is just a whole Zenkai right here, mini Zenkai. He gets base health. With this platinum equipment, it's just enough said, right? It's just a different type of demon, man. Different type of monster. Gogeta 4, I think, is now receiving the respect he deserves. I still think I've heard people say recently, I know it's still too early to judge, but are saying, yeah, he's good, he's gotten better, but he's not gross, he's not disgusting. This guy at 14 stars obliterates anything and anyone in its path. I'm sorry to say. He has blast armor too, man. If you know how to utilize this, his ultimate hits like should one-shot majority of units. Yeah, this guy is pretty freaking gross. Like I said, these are my top opinions of the most underrated units, so you guys can have, you know, your own opinions. Let me know what you guys think as well. There's a lot of units that are deserving of best units in the game, like Revival Gohan's just stupid, broken. Cell's fantastic. He has a very good anti-revival mechanic. The unique gauge is great, but these are units that people know are good. Future Gohan, everyone knows this guy goes crazy, bro. Goes type neutral. His ultimate hits like a freaking truck. Gogeta Blue's great. Broly's still good. UI Goku, skill based. Kid Boo's phenomenal, bro. But Zamasu, a very underrated unit. I'm not even gonna put him on this list. Doesn't make the top 5 for me. I do believe people still, a lot of people understand how good he is, especially at high stars. This guy just does very, very oppressive types amounts of damage. I've seen him being underrated, but there is still an equal amount of people that understand this guy's pretty gross. But the last most underrated unit that's going to be on my list, my top 1 people that don't understand how broken this guy was, especially on release, is this dude right here, man. This is my number 1 most underrated best non-Zenkai unit in the game. I think this guy at 14 stars can just solo any unit in the game, bro. The only thing that holds this guy back currently is his team. His main team is God Key, and they're not in the top 3 best teams in the game. Maybe there's an argument for top 5 best teams in the game, but right now this guy, and his stats, 14 stars. Stats are very good. He is blast oriented. You can build him either way, of course. He reduces enemy ki by 30 on hit with blast cards. He deals massive impact damage, goes type neutral on blue, so it doesn't matter who you hit on the blue card, it's going to deal some pretty insane damage. He seals blast cards on hits, sealed for 5 counts, which is huge. Green card is really good. Randomly draws 1 new card, restores own health by 10%, 25 to damage inflicted for 30 timer counts. Can't be canceled. Reduce damage received by 20% for 30 timer counts. His ultimate deals supreme impact damage. Sustain. A lot of units do this with their ultimate. Inflicts attribute upgrade minus 50% to enemy sustained damage cut effects for 3 counts. Nullifies endurance. Is pretty common now, but all the best units in the game have that. So his main ability, he draws ultimate. He has a 20% to special move awaken and ultimate damage inflicted by allies for 30%. So he has an allied buff effect, applies buff effect, nullifies enemies actions to activate when changing cover. So he nullifies a cover change on his main. People forget that when he pops his main, he nullifies cover change. When the battle starts, he gets 90% to damage inflicted, reduces damage received by 30%, applies the following effects itself. This is pretty much one of his biggest things right here. So when he is under 35 ki or lower, when using or after using an arts card, he restores ki by 20 and 25% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. So he's going to be doing insane combos that you can just continue, and then say you can just pop your main after you do that. Solo, one shot, or one combo unit. And the little cherry on top, man, a lot of these units, this guy has an anti-revival mechanic, which is huge. Obviously, like I said, revival is pretty prevalent in the meta currently, now becoming a cripple with all these anti-revival mechanics. While this character is on the battlefield, applies the following effects itself when causing a character to revive. Nullifies, so he goes type neutral and reduces enemy Dragon Balls by 2. I think that's huge. No matter what anyone says, going type neutral after that revive is huge. The following effects, so if you like pop revival Gohans, or just someone that's like, can't think of one right now. I mean, there's not that many revival units, right? There's only 3. So revival units are going to become more relevant, and or there's 4 actually with the Gohan. There's when the revival units become more and more and more, you know, increasing in numbers, these anti-revival mechanic units are going to be even more valuable. So it's going to have that, of course, type neutral. The following effects when changing cover: randomly destroys one of your own cards and draws a special move card. So he draws a blue card, reduces damage received. He knocks back on blast arts. The following effects occur when the enemy switches character while this is on the battlefield. He randomly draws 1 new card, and if you have 3 or fewer cards, more damage inflicted. This guy, in my opinion, at 14 stars, is the most oppressive unit in the game, bro. He can do or build up to do the most damage in the game. I've seen some ridiculous numbers come from this guy. I think, yeah, that makes him extremely underrated or underestimated. People see him, know how good he is, but don't understand that this guy can solo teams. And I think he's going to be a hard carry for Universe Survival Saga Tag, God Key when they start to expand. And yeah, this is my list, you guys. I do think there's other, you know, like I said, options that I could have mentioned, the realistic top 5 list, but it would have been pretty repetitive slash expected, right? The Cell, the Gohans, Zamasu is even, you know, not that underrated. Kid Buu is fantastic, but these are my picks. I think these guys deserve a lot more shine, spotlight, and respect. I do think it's getting there, especially for the Gogeta, man. Gogeta was disrespected on release, but can we really, you know, blame it, man? Was actually mid, so unfortunate, but now he's on my top 5 best units in the game. And if you guys agree with the list, or let me know what you guys think. If you guys do enjoy using these units, think they should be more respected. Like I said, Legends Weekend. I don't know if I said this earlier in the video, actually. Legends Festival, excuse me, is going to be dropping later this month. So they dropped a trailer for whatever, you know, celebration that's going to be going down. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think will be dropping for Legends Festival, or to start it out for Black Friday. What units will be coming, what events will be coming. Just let me know your guys' thoughts. Like the video if you haven't already. Sub if you guys are new. I'll catch you guys in the very next one. Stay frosty, and God bless y'all.